We are joined by a man who performs in a band called Hot Mulligan, who are going to be releasing a brand new record called Why Would I Watch, out at midnight this evening. My friends, please make a lot of noise and show some appreciation to Taze! Yeah!
Wow.
Did you like the applause, the two-man applause?
Yeah, it was huge, massive.
Jon forgets that we're not in front of a crowd. He's so used to having a crowd, this guy. Bloody hell.
Taze, how are you doing, my friend? Are
I
you
gotta
good?
chew our dog out. There we go.
Oh, let's go. What kind of dog you got?
Fucking my girlfriend's little. He's like a French bulldog and pug mix.
Oh, wow.
Was like a bull pug. Bull pug?
Is that what they call him?
Some sort of bull pug.
How are you, my friend? And how is the excitement level amongst the band right now?
Happy new album Eve, I guess.
Yeah. I'm chilling. I forgot that it was coming out tomorrow until this morning.
Do you get like any sort of nerves or excitement? Or is it just like...
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to the reviews because there's always like the really mean ones that I'm going to think about for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, of course. There'll be 10 great reviews, and then you'll be like that one bad review.
Fix that. Oh, check that out.
There we go.
Oh, let's go. You're on it. Nothing like your music being judged by people who've never made music before in their lives, right?
Yeah, so sick. So awesome.
Well, where in America are you joining us from right now, my friend?
I'm over in Chicago.
Oh, nice. The Windy City. Let's go. Is that where you're living?
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's like, I don't know. I imagine like London is probably similar, but like everything is very expensive, but it's also like right around the corner.
Sick.
So.
Yeah. Why is it called the Windy City? Is it windy? I imagine.
Windy? Yeah, it's windy.
Windy is.
Can I curse on here?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, yeah, it's windy as shit. It'll fucking kill you. Like, before we went on the run that we did over in the UK and Europe, I got a warning for a storm that had like 120 mile an hour winds.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Like, rip a tree out of the ground and throw it through your house type stuff.
Oh my God. Do you have like a proper like hurricane bunker like prepared that you can run into, or is it just like you stand there with a beer just watching it?
More the beer.
Yeah. Let's go.
Just like if you're gonna take me. I'm here. I ain't moving. Yeah. I ain't moving.
Well,
Try and take me, God.
Fight us if you dare. Well, we'll get into the chat about the brand new record in just a second, but I don't know if you noticed, we're a brand new show. It's our second show, so thank you ever so much for joining us. And we're trying to be serious journalists from time to time and have sources, just like journalists are known to have. And I actually called upon one of our sources, a gentleman called Boots, who I think you're quite good friends with. And,
Boots.
Yeah.
Good old Boots.
Good old Bootsy. And I was like, got Taze on the show on Thursday. Is there anything that you might be able to tell us? And he mentioned that you've recently picked up a new fan in Matt Healy from the 1975, apparently.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. He liked our stuff online, and I don't know what that means, but I'll take it.
Hell yeah.
He's an emo kid, really, isn't he? But he just happens to be one of the biggest bands in the world right now. Apparently dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah. That's a breaking news as well. But how, like, has Matt reached out to you yet? Have you had any DMs being like, hey guys, love the stuff?
I don't know. Maybe I doubt it. He's, big. I don't know why he'd bother. Not to me. I'm barely online at all.
Fair enough. That's the best way to be.
If he does reach out, I'm going to get an earful about it, though. Everyone else in the band is going to freak out.
That's amazing. Well, famous fans are on the horizon for you because Hot Mulligan's name in the United Kingdom has been growing so much popularity. And what's a big indication of that, man, is the fact that you got this tour happening with Spanish love songs in September. And already on that tour poster, there are a lot of low ticket warnings. Like, how is it, like, even before your record comes out, knowing that there's a massive thirst for you overseas to see you live?
It's cool. I mean, the last tour that we did over there, that we just wrapped up not too long ago, was awesome. Like, if we're playing more shows with no barricades where we can just get a sea of crowd surfers up there, Like it feels like the old shows that we used to play, like the VFW hall, weird little venue stuff, you know? It's awesome coming over there.
Sick.
So if we get more and more popular, I'm
You've got
ready to come over more often.
This next door's got some decent sized rooms. You've got the Electric Ballroom in London, which is, I don't know if you've ever played there before. It's like 1,500.
Yeah, like 1,500, 1,600.
Yeah. That's a good. I love that venue.
Yeah, really good venue.
And then after that is Birmingham Academy, which is where we're based right now. So
yeah, it is great venue, the Birmingham Academy as well.
We'll pop down.
Hell yeah, we'll come and see you. But as you said, you just wrapped up a run in the UK. I mean, like, compared to when you first started out as a band, like, how has your fan base evolved, would you say? Like, from the people who were coming to watch you now, like, is the level of fandom like either like more intense? Is the, like, you know, people wanting to like meet you, take photos, like all that kind of stuff, or your fans a little bit more like relaxed on that front?
It depends. Over here, in the US, I would say that they are feral, sort of a foaming at the mouth kind of thing for them. Over in the UK, they're still like kind of strange, but not quite so insane yet. Glasgow people are Glasgow people.
Yep.
You just kind of you roll with it. I will say, so far, Germans are the most like pleasant people ever.
I have
Germans are so nice.
You know what the people say about Germans is that they're super nice, but they're also very honest with you. They'll tell you if they liked your set or not. I've spoken to some members of bands, and they've been like, the Germans are brutal, man. They're like,
if you're shit, they will tell you.
If they didn't enjoy your set, they'll tell you. It's like,
yeah,
I appreciate your honesty, but
suck.
Well, let's get into this brand new record. Why would I watch? Generic interviewer question number 1. Where did the album name come from?
It's a lyric in the song "No Shoes or Socks in the Coffee Shop," or "No Socks or Shoes in the Coffee Shop," and it kind of is a running theme. So, like, why would I look back with nostalgia if it makes me feel bad?
Sick.
So, it's a good name, I guess, just because it's a good through line for the whole thing, you know.
That's a really powerful album name. I love that. And we've got a couple of singles out of it already. We were just watching the music video for your latest single. And as a pro wrestling fan, don't worry, we will get to the name of that last song on the record. Like, it was fucking awesome to watch, man. Like, anytime bands step into a wrestling ring, it like automatically gets 2 thumbs up for me. But like, are you or the boys wrestling fans? Is that why there's such a big tinge on the record? Or is it just the case that it's silly and you like it?
Brandon is a huge wrestling fan. Our drummer, he's massive on it, and so I kind of am too now a little bit. I'm like very passively a fan because he made me watch so much of it when we were recording the album.
Sick.
Yeah, it just kind of rubbed off on me now.
Sweet. And like when you say a fan now, like, are you following the current product, or are you still like an Attitude Era kind of guy? Because I mean, that last song title on the album, that's pure Attitude Era references.
I don't know. I follow whenever I'm with Brandon, our drummer.
Sick.
Like, because he has it on constantly, and it's hard to not get sucked back into it.
Yeah, that's the same with me. It's like I used to watch it growing up, so I know all the old guys. But then we got invited to go to one in Birmingham the other day, and I felt like a kid again watching it live. It was like, oh my god,
yeah,
jump off the top rope and stuff.
Yeah, man, we were front row for a WWE house show, and like Ollie had never seen it before, so like he wasn't used to like heckling wrestlers and like, you know, giving the heels some stick, or like if there's a babyface that no one likes, heckling them as well. It was a very eye-opening experience.
It was like adult pantomime.
Yeah. But like from
people booing and hissing, and it's like they play up to the crowd. It was a whole thing. I enjoyed it though. It's makes you feel young again.
Yeah, we've got to get one of your songs on a wrestling soundtrack.
Oh, as if, dude. I don't know. They have fucking like.
I feel like the last song on the album, just for that title alone, should be. I was reading through the list of the songs, and when I got to that, I literally did a laugh out loud. I was like, this song name is amazing. For those who don't know,
Can you smell what the Undertaker? Oh boy.
And I love the fact that you didn't even finish the Rock's catchphrase, like, is cooking on the end. Is like, can you smell what the Undertaker just end?
Yeah. That name was like, we had just been watching like old wrestling highlights for like hours, and we needed to name this demo after someone was done recording some like bass or guitar or something. And we had just watched hours and hours of wrestling, and that like fell out like vomit, and it stuck, and it's such a mistake.
I love
all
the
of
like
our names are fucking. Our names are getting worse and worse.
Oh, never change. Please never change. Because Fall Out Boy did. Fall Out Boy lost that inner bit of magic. Whereas, like, genuinely, I hope you guys are playing Wembley one day and you're like, this next song's called Banging a Teapot in a Corner Whilst the Clown Watches. Like, never change it.
Is that so? I'm sure you've probably been asked this loads of times, but is that something do you come up with the song names and then just attach them to a random song, or are they somewhat related in some way?
It's like, what inside joke are we gonna make this song this time? You know, it never really has any rhyme or reason. Very rarely do we have serious titles. Like, Betty is the one serious title on the album.
Nice.
Everything else is just like, what are we gonna call this one? What stupid joke have we been thinking about the most today? You know?
Dude, my favorite song on the album is this song is called It's Called What It's Called. And like, trying to remember that song title was hard enough. I had to write it down, but like, the song's a banger. Like, the song is fucking huge. But what I love at the end is, who is it screaming? The hi-hat! Use the hi-hat!
That's me from like, I don't know, 2016, 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Throughout the album, we sampled a bunch of like old like videos and audio shit that we had. Because the running theme of the album is like nostalgia and stuff, you know?
Sick.
So in those little ghosty segments, it's all like, if you hear anything, it's just samples from like old videos or audio that we took when we were like in Chris's parents' basement.
I was going to say the production of this album is really, I listened to it on headphones yesterday, and there's so much like going on in like the background, like so much like layering or like just subtle melodies and stuff. I was really impressed. Is that something you do like consciously, or is that done like post in the production?
I mean, our producer that we went to, Brett Romness, we're familiar with him, and like we've been with him twice now, and I feel like the first time we picked up just like a ton of like layering stuff to know how to do. And like, I'm not very good at it still. I'm probably the worst at it. I'm good at making like a skeleton, but Chris is really good at layers. Ryan is really good at layers. Brandon, he's good with his like like instrumentation, like the little like tambourine and cowbell and weird stuff like that, you know. But all those layers are just like, how much can you fit in this spot to make it sound as full as you can?
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like they're subtle, but they add a lot to the sound. It's like if you took them out, you'd notice, but you don't necessarily notice that they're there when they are. I mean, that's the key of a good production, I think.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It still escapes me quite a bit, but
you're just like we sound sick, man.
Yeah.
It was all me.
Well, in fact, actually, what I wanted to ask you was about your vocal style, because I'm always blown away by vocalists who can switch from that like really powerful, like false fold distortion on their voices to going like instantly into like beautiful sounding melodies. And like, you flip that switch so fucking quickly with your pipes. Was that something that like, like when you were experimenting younger as a band, that you kind of like, you knew that was going to be your sound and you had to hone it, or was it like something that you had to like train your voice to be able to do over years?
I don't know. I guess I trained it. I'm just shouting. Like, I'm not doing any sort of real technique other than what I taught myself, you know? So I'm not flipping a switch. I'm just shouting now. I'm just singing and now I start shouting, you know?
It's like pull it back
But,
and let it go.
How is that on your vocal cords? Like, do you have to be careful, like with like, you know, pushing it too hard? Like, you know, say for example, if you've got like a big tour, like 15, 20, 25 dates, like, is it the case that like, you know, from certain bits, those big shouty bits on record, you have to throw the mic out just to preserve it for future dates?
Yeah, earlier in tours, I have to do that for sure. It's like, I don't know, it can be pretty rough, but yeah, I just have to stick with it and like learn how to sing the songs, you know?
I'm with you.
When you do it in the studio, it's entirely different than when you're up on the stage.
Yeah, because there's no breaks.
Yeah, there's nothing in between. You just go, go, go. And I'm probably gonna have a lot of trouble with Why Would I Watch, because this album is very dense.
Yeah, you know? Like,
but I don't know. I'm confident. It's not too hard. I've trained up my vocal cords. I can shout for a long time.
Sick.
It's just a matter of also being able to breathe now.
Yeah, I guess. So when it's like lyric heavy as well, you just like,
and bigger stages, more space to run around on. All of a sudden, you're like, oh damn!
Yeah. No, I'm secretly a fat guy. I know that. I'm way too thick to be doing what I'm doing.
Tell me.
A lot of dancing.
Well, let's get you in the wrestling ring, man. I'm sure a couple of brawls could set you up nicely for some on-stage fitness.
Yeah, getting the shit beat out of me. That'll definitely make it better for me.
Well, I wanted to fire through like just some quick fire questions, seeing as the record drops at midnight to sort of close out this chat. Just from your perspective, like, you know, different questions to get your perspective on like living and processing this record over the last couple of months. My first one is, personally, what's your favorite song off this record?
I don't know. Christ Alive, My Toe Damn It Hurts is that I think that song like came out the best. Like it like musically translates the little dumb thought that I had when we started writing it like forever ago. Between that and John the Rock Cena, Can You Smell What the Undertaker?
Sick. I'm so glad that got a shout. So what would you say your favorite lyric that you wrote on this record is, or your favorite line?
There's a lot of them. I write too many lyrics to be, I don't know. And I Smoke has a cool little fractal, how the pattern repeats itself. Its smallest details repeat indefinite. I think that's a fun little like visual thing.
That's a hell of a bar, dude. I love that rhyming pattern as well. I've noticed that with like your lyricism, like you don't, like you'll set yourself up for what people would think would be a standard rhyming pattern, and then the word that like their brain like autofills next, like you take them somewhere else, like you throw them a curveball. Yeah,
and that's just like, I don't know. A lot of good writers do it a lot better than I do. Like, I listen to a lot of songs that just don't rhyme. They just don't have like actual rhyme schemes at all. It's just like creative writing stretched out for 3 or 4 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a misconception. Like, 'cause I think when people first start writing songs, or if you first start singing or whatever, you're like, oh, everything must rhyme. But it's like, you can make a song sound like it rhymes by just the way you sing it, or the way you phrase words, or the way you pick like the melodies, or like the timing of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you can trick people into thinking this song rhymes when none of the lyrics actually rhyme at all.
Chance the Rapper's one of the kings of doing that, man.
Yeah.
Like his lyricism like is unbelievable. That actually reminds me of a question I wanted to ask you. Were there any musical inspirations on this record, like songs or artists or like tunes that you're listening to that maybe people wouldn't have expected you to have drawn influence from, like stuff from outside the rock world?
Outside of the rock world, I don't know. I listen to some weird stuff.
Okay.
Like, like, you know, Hop Along, It's all in the rock world, unfortunately.
Okay.
Hopalong, Laura Stevenson and the Cans, Andrew Jackson Jihad, AJJ now. As far as like weird influences, I guess like Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree is like,
Yeah, he's sick.
yeah,
What a shout.
he's insane, like melodies. His lyrics are so like plain and nothing, but
Yeah.
it's all backed up by like just dope, simple music and very, very good earworm melodies.
Yeah.
So
And his
I listen to
whole-
him quite a bit.
His whole persona of like, he went from what was it, Razor Scooter professionals to now he's like some cowboy mullet. Man.
Mullet cowboy, man. Like the performance he did, I think it was like Fallon or Kimmel, where he's performing Cowboys Don't Cry, and he starts with a massive cowboy hat and then he takes it off to reveal slightly smaller cowboy hats each time till it's just one tiny little hat.
I love that shit.
Genius.
It's like, how can you just ignore that guy?
Yeah. That's my favorite shit. And my final question to you on the new record is there any songs off this new record that you haven't had a chance to play live yet that you can't wait to put into the set list just because you know what your fans are going to give you back on it?
I mean, the opening track shouldn't have a leg hole, but I do. To me, it sounds like being chased through the woods, and I feel like if we play it live, if we were to kick off on that, it would sort of the cue is to do something fucked up, you know.
Sick.
And I hope that people catch that cue. There's that, and alternatively, playing Betty, where someone would jump off the balcony for a different reason. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff. I want to see how these songs do. I'm not sure how they'll do yet.
I think when people hear this album, I've listened to you for quite a while, and this is probably my favorite album you've put out. So I listened to it back to back, and it was just every song was like, I'm not skipping this one, not skipping this one. It was just solid from back to the front, I think. Not to blow smoke up your ass or anything.
All killer, no filler.
No, sick. Thank you.
Well, Tades, thank you ever so much for your time today, my friend. And to anyone watching right now, don't forget Hot Mulligan are going to be back in the United Kingdom with a headline tour with support from Spanish love songs later on this year. But best of luck with the album launch at midnight, my friend. Hope it all goes well for you.